Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is 7:39 a.m. Saturday morning, July 13, 2024. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video. I'd really appreciate it if you guys get this video up to 100 likes. If you don't know by now, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. We all like the video and then the YouTube algorithm pushes the video out to more persons who are in the path of these tropical systems so we can keep everyone safe, especially during the peak of Atlantic hurricane season, that's August through to October. Share this video with your friends, your co-workers, your relatives, and even your church brethren, and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Leave a comment down below letting me know what the weather has been like in your area recently. Also, feel free to ask any other related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Alright, so let us take a look at the U.S. National Hurricane Center 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook. We can see that there is nothing new that is highlighted. They don't expect any form of tropical cyclone development during the next 7 days. However, I like it how they highlighted on their tropical weather discussion the numerous tropical waves across the basin. One tropical wave across the eastern tropical Atlantic, one tropical wave across the eastern Caribbean, and another tropical wave across the western Caribbean. We know these tropical waves sometimes have a lot of thunderstorms, and we can see them being represented here on the surface map of the Atlantic. The tropical wave across the western Caribbean, right there to the west of Jamaica, the tropical wave right here across the eastern Caribbean, and the tropical wave across the Atlantic starting to get into position closer to the middle of the main development region, equidistant from Africa and eastern Caribbean. And we see the ridge of high pressure here across the northern portion of North Atlantic that we know is responsible for sending all of these tropical waves from east to west, not to mention all of the Saharan dust from the desert. If we take a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic as the sun is starting to come up, we can definitely see the clouds associated with the tropical waves, the one right here, especially to the waters to the south of the Cayman Islands. The one that's affecting the eastern Caribbean, definitely lashing portion of the Dominican Republic, the US and British Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico as we speak, and the other tropical wave right here across the Atlantic. And we also see numerous clouds to the south that's having to do with the intertropical convergence zone. You know, the intertropical convergence zone is where the air from the northern hemisphere meets the air from the southern hemisphere, and all of this rises and forms thunderstorms. Alright, so we'll be talking about the rest of the Caribbean weather later on. Let us focus our attention on what was predicted in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for Friday. It was stated that we would have received some afternoon rainfall across sections of some western, eastern, and central parishes in Jamaica. And we know western parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Cornwall, so Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth. While central parishes, you know, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Middlesex, so St. Anne, St. Mary, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine. While eastern parishes, you know, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Surrey, so Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, and St. Andrew. And what ended up happening? As early as 1:35 p.m. a post was made here on our Twitter page. By the way, these posts aren't only made here on our Twitter page at Weather Jamaica, but on our Instagram page at weather.jamaica, on our TikTok page at Weather Jamaica, and on our Facebook page at Weather Jamaica 876. So if you have one of those social media platforms, please ensure that you follow us there, as we make posts throughout the day that you can't afford to miss. So we can definitely see the visible satellite image that was posted. It highlighted that we were receiving some isolated showers and some isolated thunderstorm activity across sections of some eastern, central, and western parishes in Jamaica. And if you remember yesterday's video, we highlighted that it would have been more so across sections of some southern parishes than northern parishes, especially with the upper level winds coming in from the northwest yesterday. So we can definitely see the sparkling yellow dots that we know represent some amount of lightning strikes, if not lightning flashes, at that time, lashing portions of Hanover, section of Westmoreland, section of Manchester, Clarendon, definitely getting on those thunderstorms, while other areas were receiving more isolated showers than anything else. Then we also saw that the live camera from See Jamaica's YouTube channel was posted showing 2:27, and we definitely had some amount of rainfall, some light to moderate rainfall that is across sections of Halfway Tree, We see cars moving by with their windshield wipers on. We also see that we have persons walking with their umbrella. Definitely got some amount of rainfall in those spots. If we take a look at some of the comments, we see Bougie Foodie GA stating, raining in Kingston 6, wasn't expecting this and the traffic is already awful. And then after that, the thunderstorms got even more severe across especially western parishes. And even if we took a look at the Cuban Doppler radar at that time, it was showing more reds than anything else. The reds are the high end of the scale in terms of rainfall and severe weather, and that was definitely being experienced across sections of western or northwestern St. Elizabeth. We can see it all even being represented. The satellite images here showing the deepest convection in the blacks and whites. Not to mention the sparkling white that represents some amount of thunderstorm activity. So definitely section of northwestern St. Elizabeth, section of Westmoreland got in on the brunt of yesterday's thunderstorms. And we definitely had the comments coming in even on our YouTube page. Kimberly Carty Hilton 2595 stating, thunder and heavy rain in Brampton, St. Elizabeth. Neil Davis, heavy rain in Stony Hill, St. Andrew. Winston WD 7 Go stating, raining in Norbrook, now second time for the day hearing thunder too. We also have comments coming in on our Facebook page. Kiva Gray, raining cats and dog in Linstead. Even on our Instagram page, Kimberly Ash 94, pouring in Black River. And I'm sure that was when they were receiving their severe thunderstorm. Waves forever, raining on Malines Road. And if we take a look at the latest visible satellite images, as a matter of fact, let's reload these images that we have the very latest. So we definitely saw that we had some clouds bring some overcast skies and isolated shores section of some northern parishes this morning. But as we can see, majority of it is starting to clear out, making way for more sunny skies across all parishes. If we look back, this was earlier this morning, and we definitely had some clouds bring some isolated thunderstorms to sections of Portland, sections of Trelawney, St. Anne, as we saw those sparkling white dots. Most of the thunderstorm right now, however, is out to sea to the northeast of the island, as we can see those thunderstorms up there. And we can see the thunderstorms being represented here on the latest Cuban Doppler radar images. This is as of 8:40 a.m. considering that the time is now 8:47, so it makes sense. The last image came out 7 minutes ago. We can definitely see the thunderstorms, the heavy rainfall right there off to the northeast of the island. Not much else taking place across Jamaica right now. If we take a look at the latest infrared satellite images that were posted on our pages, we can definitely see that yes, we were highlighting what was happening this morning. And we even have a comment coming in on our Instagram page, _Nick, stating, as rain start, light gone. And it's just last night we did get it back, so I'm guessing that she's in a northern parish. And I'm sorry that that happened to you, Yannick. However, if we take a look at See Jamaica's YouTube channel, taking a look at the view of Kingston looking towards the west, we can see the National Stadium right here. We can see New Kingston over here on the right. So it's definitely a sunny morning as we speak across the corporate area. Not much taking place, especially considering that this is not a northern parish. All of the rainfall is on the north coast. Taking a look at the temperatures right now, we can see 27 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 26 degrees Celsius in Kingston. And by about 1 p.m. today, this is 18th on Saturday from the GFS, the temperature should be rising up to some yellows or some slight gold colors that represent up to 1 degree Celsius above normal temperatures at most. We know the normal temperatures for the month of July across Jamaica are about 91 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about the same as 32.7 degrees Celsius. So it should be receiving anywhere from 32 to 33 degrees Celsius at most for Jamaica's temperature on Saturday. As relates to the Saharan dust, as stated, this is one of the main reasons why the Atlantic isn't really that active right now. We see all of the brown stretching all the way across the main development region into the Caribbean that we know represents the Saharan dust. Majority of it right now lashing portions of the Leeward Islands right here with the darker shades of browns, even portions of Jamaica right here getting in on those darker plumes. We know that that represents the vigorous plume of Saharan dust, not to mention causing some amount of respiratory illnesses in some persons, asthma, sinusitis, whatever the case may be. So please ensure that you have your meds ready just in case. As it relates to the wave forecast, it makes sense that we're getting in on those 1 to 1.5 meter wave heights across majority of the Caribbean as we see those darker blues and as we can see by the key on the bottom right. And that's because the winds are going to be averaging anywhere from 15 to 20 knots as we can see by the green colors. We can also see some yellows embedded in there, especially to the south of Jamaica, where we see that representing up to 25 knot winds. But if we take a closer look at the wind forecast across Jamaica, yes, we do have the winds coming in from the east, but where is all of the air going to be piling up? Across sections of some central and western parishes again. So we can't rule out some isolated thundershower activity affecting portion of central and western Jamaica today, just like yesterday. We know all of the air is going to be piling up in those spots, those cumulus clouds becoming medium level rain clouds, if not cumulonimbus thunderstorm clouds as usual. And we see the general trend for central and western parishes. That has been the pattern this week, and the upper level winds have been changing. We see that today is going to be coming in more so from the east and curving southward. So we'll see how that goes. It's definitely going to be favoring more of the rainfall across central and western Jamaica. And we can see that the rainfall forecast has the rainfall in consensus on both the Euro and the GFS models for central and western parishes in Jamaica. This map from the GFS is valid for 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 3 p.m. Jamaica time. I see the blues represent rainfall across section of Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Catherine, northern Manchester, southern Trelawney, southern St. James, Hanover, Westmoreland, northwestern St. Elizabeth. Again, might get in on the thunderstorm activity. The Euro model showing more of that rainfall across southern Jamaica than anything else. We'll see how that goes. Either way, central and western Jamaica are going to be feeling the brunt of Saturday's rainfall. And we can see that both accumulated precipitation forecast maps are showing some amount of contrast in terms of the rainfall, but there's some amount of rainfall in store. We're in July. We're in one of our dry seasons. You can see Kingston's bar graph at the top, Montego Bay's bar graph at the bottom. Kingston bar graph in millimeters, Montego Bay's bar graph in inches. So we can clearly see that there's usually a decrease in the amount of rainfall that we expect during the month of July in both cities. And you can do the math regarding the rainfall in inches. And you can also visit weatherandclimate.com to look for your specific parish and rainfall that you guys experience throughout the year. 25 millimeters of rainfall is up to 1 inch of rainfall. So you can do the calculations yourself. Alright, so that's it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let us focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So we can see lots of clouds still bring some thunderstorm activity associated with the tropical wave across section of Puerto Rico, the and British Virgin Islands, section of northeastern South America associated with the intertropical convergence zone as well. And if we take a look at the northeastern Caribbean, we can definitely see all of that rainfall that we just saw in the visible satellite images, definitely lashing portions of Puerto Rico as we speak. Section of the US Virgin Islands right now, not so much the Leeward Islands at all, but definitely right here, anywhere from the US and British Virgin Islands westward, not so much across the Dominican Republic at all. But I'm sure that if we put these images into motion, we can definitely see that those areas were definitely getting nailed last night. The Leeward Islands, St. Martin, St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, and Guadeloupe, Dominica definitely got in some amount of rainfall. As we can see, the greens, the yellows, the up into the gold and red colors that represent some heavy rainfall, especially passing to the north of Puerto Rico. If we take a look at the Barbados radar, we do see some stray isolated showers coming in from the east-northeast with those blues and greens that represent some light to moderate rainfall. But we see the heaviest of the rainfall right now brushing against sections of Grenada, especially the southeastern portion of that island. We can also see some rainfall coming into sections of Tobago as well as section of southern Trinidad. If we take a look at the wider view of Doppler radar images, we can see some of that rainfall affecting section of northern Cuba, section of the Bahamas, section of Belize, Guatemala, coastal areas of Honduras, Even sections of the ABC Islands, Curacao, Bonaire getting in some rainfall as we speak. And we can also see that rainfall right there to the northeast of South America. So right there, brushing sections of Suriname and even French Guiana. But as relates to the rainfall forecast, now we see that there's consensus for rainfall within the next 24 hours for these areas that both the Euro and the JFS models have highlighted. So sections of southern Florida, the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, Cuba, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Jamaica, Puerto Rico, the US and British Virgin Islands. Still some more rainfall for the Leeward Islands. So St. Martin, St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, Anguilla, Guadeloupe, Dominica, sections of Martinique, some isolated shores for Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, Suriname, French Guiana, Venezuela, Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, Belize definitely going to be getting in some amount of rainfall, Guatemala, the Yucatan Peninsula, and even sections of the Cayman Islands. And we see that both the Euro and the JFS models are in consensus with this. I don't know that when they're in consensus like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.